Right now at 5, a fatal crash on US 69 southwest of Miami, Oklahoma claims the life of one person.
And we've got another break in the rain this morning, but the rain is going to return yet again. We'll talk about those rain chances and the cool temperatures coming up.
And the city of Carterville holds a special election to determine the winner of a tied race.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bond.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's again another chilly one out there. We actually even have some fog that we are dealing with across the area, but some good news is we've got a break from the rain, but we have more rain on the way. So let's take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Right now, no rain on there. Cloud cover, yes, we've got plenty of that. And again, we've got some fog. We'll talk about that. Our next batch of rain won't be here until this afternoon, and it'll be coming out of Oklahoma, just like it was the other day, and we'll eventually get here late this afternoon, or later this afternoon, rather. So let's take a look at wind. Here we are at 9 a.m., doing all right. And then as we head to about noon, 1 o'clock, we start to get some of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms rolling into the area. And by 3, we've got more of them across the region, and these will hold on with us as we head into the evening hours. And then it'll pause again before we see more showers and thunderstorms developing tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's showers and storms, they're going to be a little more long-lived. They're going to hang out a little longer with us before they eventually clear out of the area. So again, remember, precipitation tracker is just from today through Friday now. So we're still looking to pick up an additional 1/10 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and even upwards of 1 1/4 inches in some areas. And so let's take a look at those rain chances. Again, as we head into the afternoon, that's when they'll really ramp up, and these rain chances will hang with us as we head through tomorrow morning, where we have another round, and then by the evening, they will eventually begin to taper off. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good so far. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. We've got cloudy skies out there right now, but otherwise not bad. 45 in Joplin with a calm breeze. Temperatures across the region look about like this. We've got 39 in Pittsburgh, 40 Chanute, 47 Chetopa, 50 Miami and Neosho, and 45 in Carthage and Lamar. We were talking about the fog. There is some dense fog out there. Say Chanute, for example, visibility is only 1.5 miles. We have reduced visibilities across a large portion of the area, and in some of the rural areas, these visibilities are even further reduced. All right, we go through the morning. We've got the mostly cloudy skies. We'll be a bit breezy as we head into the late morning hours, pushing about 60. And like yesterday, we're looking at highs, upper 50s, lower 60s. We'll see the rain showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder start to roll back into the area. And they'll again rain with us through the evening and overnight hours as well, as we eventually drop back into the upper 40s yet again. That's been a common trend here. That will continue to be the trend. Below average temperatures, those rain chances off and on through Saturday morning. As we head into the weekend, we're trying to warm back up. We're not back to normal, but temperatures gradually warming. And as we head into next week, again, trying to get closer to normal, but we've got some on again, off again thunderstorm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. One person is dead following a 2-car crash on US 69 southwest of Miami, Oklahoma Monday night. The driver of one car, 64-year-old Arlene Ingram of Commerce, Oklahoma, died at the scene. The other driver, 27-year-old Michael Shepard, was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. A pickup hits 2 children in a driveway, killing one and injuring the other in Delaware County, Oklahoma. It happened just south of Cleoria. The children were playing in the driveway when the pickup pulled in. A 1-year-old girl was killed, and at last report, a 2-year-old girl was hospitalized in critical condition. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash. 3 of 6 suspects in a Newton County kidnapping and murder case have pleaded guilty. The crime happened in July of 2020. Authorities say 6 people took part in the kidnapping and murder of Michael Hall of Carthage. They say Hall was bound, beaten, stabbed, and then shot to death. 3 suspects, Carla Ward, Russell Hurt, and James Gibson, agreed to plea deals this month. The other 3, Amy Thomas, Freddie Tilton, and Lawrence Vaughn, have plea hearings set within the next week. A Bramer, Missouri man already in prison for killing 2 Wisconsin brothers over a cattle contract is sentenced for a federal crime. A judge sentenced 28-year-old Garland Nelson to 32 additional years in prison for defrauding DeMille's Livestock of Wisconsin. Nelson pleaded guilty in September to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the 2019 deaths of 24-year-old Justin DeMille and 35-year-old Nicholas DeMille. A judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. Missouri announces plans for the licensing of micro businesses for medical and adult use of marijuana products. The application window for the first round of micro business licenses will be open from July 27th to August 10th. According to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, 48 micro business licenses will be handed out through a random lottery drawing in October. Officials say applicants cannot submit more than one application per drawing. You can learn more on the KOAM News Now app. Voters in Carterville, Missouri were back at the polls Tuesday for a special election to determine the winner of the race for Ward 2 on the City Council. Judy Martin defeated Terry Arterburn by a vote of 51-39. The special election was called after Martin and Arterburn tied in the election earlier this month.
The main thing for me is to keep the town growing. I want to keep the town growing. I want to keep the people in the town happy. And if anyone has anything that they need from me, please feel free to let me know.
I am happy. I mean, I know I put my best effort towards it. I will do this again. This is my hometown.
Special election cost the city $1,100, but they saved more than $2,500 by counting the ballots by hand rather than machine. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, CJ and Webb City face off on the diamond. We'll have who struck out in sports. Plus, with AAA forecasting gas prices to be cheaper, this brings us to this morning's question. Do you plan to travel this summer? And are you stressed all the time? Well, then you may be increasing your body's biological age. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the Webb City Cardinals have played a tough schedule to start the season. Even with that schedule, the Cards are 11-9 overall, including 4-1 in COC League play. Webb City back on the field against conference rival Carl Junction in the final game of a 4-game homestand. CJ gets their leadoff man on, but Kaylor Darnell settles in on the mound. Not one, not two, but 3 straight strikeouts for Darnell to get out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Webb City offense goes straight to work with 2 on. Sean Hunt hits a hard liner to right center, bounces all the way to the fence out there. Sam Weller scores. Cy Darnell right behind him. 2-run double for Hunt. Puts the Cards up 2-0 after 1. Back on the mound, Kaylor Darnell still cruising. Strikeout there. Darnell goes 6 2/3 shutout innings, 11 strikeouts. Webb City shuts out CJ 6-0. Elsewhere in the COC, the Joplin Eagles kick off a 4-game homestand hosting the Carthage Tigers yesterday afternoon. That one done. Joplin gets it done in a good one, 3-1. Anna Childress is racking up the awards this week for Pitt State Track and Field. Childress has been named the MIAA Field Athlete of the Week, as well as the Division II National Track and Field Athlete of the Week. And here's why. Saturday at the Pitt State Tune-Up, the junior won the triple jump. She tied the Division II all-time record with a jump of 43 feet 8 inches, a mark she hit twice on Saturday. In her final jump, she posted 44 feet 2.5 inches. That has the asterisk there because the wind rating was too high, so it can't count toward the Division II all-time rankings. But it still counts as a Pitt State record and the best mark in the nation this season. She did all this, and it was her first time competing this outdoor season.
It means a lot because I was not expecting it, if anything. Again, I just went out to have fun, and my coaches were kind of like, "Oh, you have a chance of breaking the outdoor record for our school," and I was like, "Okay, challenge accepted." Broke it, and then I just wasn't thinking much of it, but just to see and being tagged in posts and just not even knowing was just like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know I did this," so it was just really nice to know.
It was our first time triple jumping outdoors this year, so we had really been focusing on just trying to iron some kinks out and just knock some rust off. We took a lot of time to rest after that indoor season. So with her just getting the opportunity to get out there and just feel a full approach rep, it was just awesome. So I mean, I think there's a lot more there.
Still to come, a Japanese lunar lander carrying a UAE developed rover somehow lost. And we've got another check of that wet forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Excuse me. 5:15 on this Wednesday morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker. No rain in our immediate area, but you can see there are plenty of clouds out there. Our rain will return this afternoon as this batch of showers and thunderstorms eventually makes its way into our area. So let's take a look on the future track at what we're looking at here. We go through the morning, again, cloudy but dry. And then by about noon, 1 o'clock, stuff's knocking on our back door and it'll start to ease into the area and kind of sweep through here, giving us some showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms as the evening progresses. And then more showers and a couple of thunderstorms begin to develop early tomorrow morning. And these will persist with us a little bit longer as this activity rotates on through here. And then we'll get another break before we see a possibility of some additional showers and maybe a rumble of thunder as we head into our Friday. So again, precipitation tracker takes out everything from the last couple of days. It's starting from today through Friday. So again, an additional upwards of quarter inch, half inch, maybe inch and a quarter out there of rainfall between now and Friday evening. Our rain chances again ramp up as we head into the evening and overnight hours, and they will stay up there for a good portion of our day tomorrow before they eventually begin to taper off by tomorrow evening. Goodness, MoDOT camera, 20th in range line, looks pretty good. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. And at 7th in range line, we've got cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog out there. 45 in Joplin right now. And across the region, it is definitely a cool start at 39 Pittsburgh, 40 Chinook, 46 Neodesha, 47 in Chetopa, 50 Miami and Neosho, and 45 in Carthage and Lamar. And as mentioned, we do have some patchy, dense fog out there, especially, say, just southeast of Yates Center around the Chanute area. And in some rural areas, I ran into some dense, patchy fog as well. So do be careful. Cloudy skies, a little bit on the breezy side, near 60 by 11 this morning. Highs today in the upper 50s, lower 60s. Rain chances build back in through the afternoon and evening hours and stick with us through the overnight, and another night into the upper 40s for our overnight lows. We stay below average again for the next several days. Rain chances continue through Saturday morning. We try to warm up a little bit into the 60s as we head toward the end of this week and into next week. And even next week, we try and get close to normal by the end of next week. But as we make that journey to normal, we also start to see a few additional thunderstorm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Well, a dip in global oil prices may bring some relief to drivers at the pump. Laura Engel has the story.
Some good news for drivers worried about hitting the road this week. According to AAA, falling oil prices and a drop in demand may lead to lower gas prices in some parts of the nation. The price of oil fell back into the upper 70s per barrel last week. In a statement, AAA spokesperson Andrew Gross said, quote, "If this oil price trend continues, drivers may see falling gas prices." On Monday, the national average for regular unleaded was $3.67 a gallon. While unchanged from a week ago, it is higher than a month ago when it was $3.44. However, it's still a lot lower than the $4.12 from a year ago. One industry expert believes gas prices will hold steady and remain lower than last year. But he does warn this won't be the case for every state.
Southern Florida had a hot spot because they had 20 inches of rain that knocked out some distribution terminals for about a week. Arizona is a hot spot right now because there's a couple of refineries in the American Southwest that are undergoing maintenance. And California is always its own animal.
According to AAA, California, Hawaii, and Arizona currently have the highest regular gas price averages in the country. Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana have the lowest.
I'm always comparing to see what it was a couple of days ago because I'm always driving back and forth and I'm just trying to save any penny that I can.
Experts also warn to take these gas price forecasts with a grain of salt, especially as we head into the summer travel and hurricane season. That brings us to our question for you this morning. Do you plan to travel this summer? Yes or no? We want to hear from you, so make sure you vote through our website at koamnewsnow.com/vote. You can also do so through the KOAM News Now app and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, stress takes a toll on the body, but new research suggests it doesn't take too long to recover. Scientists at Duke University School of Medicine used DNA to calculate changes in the biological age in humans and mice. The research found stress may increase your biological age in a short amount of time, but it may take only days to reverse it when the stressors ease. Researchers hope the study will lead to future experiments into how recovery from stressful situations can impact aging. The patchwork of state abortion laws in the U.S. appears to be confusing to some providers. A study out Tuesday looks at Oklahoma, where abortions are allowed to save the life of the pregnant woman. The researchers say they posed as patients and called 34 hospitals asking about emergency care. They say none of them could articulate or provide clear, consistent policies for such situations. It's perfectly safe to bring dogs to restaurants with outdoor seating, and that's according to the Food and Drug Administration. The new guidance came in an update to the 2022 FDA Food Code. Agency still says dogs should not go inside restaurants unless they are service dogs. And there's no exception for emotional support dogs. The outdoor dining guidance does not permit other pets. It's not unusual for food pictures and dinner recipes to be shared on social media, but the latest craze making the rounds on TikTok is water recipes, adding flavored syrups and powders to water in order to drink more of it. Mandy Gaither gets a registered dietitian's take on whether this is a healthy way to stay hydrated.
It may make drinking water easier for those who don't care for it.
So water is very important, not just for hydration, but to be able to, digest our food, have regularity and things like that as well.
The TikTok trend to add flavored syrups and powders to water can change how it tastes, but is it a healthy way to keep hydrated? Clinical dietitian Bridget Dewan with Orlando Health says it's important to listen to your thirst cues.
We actually kind of talk about all fluid. So the goal is about 13 cups of fluid for adult males and about 9 cups for adult females. And this includes all fluid. So we have to factor in, yes, coffee counts, soda counts, juice counts.
If you're swapping out soda for water with sugar-free syrups or powders, Dewan says that's a good substitution. However, drinking too many fluids can lead to low levels of sodium in your body and lead to a potentially dangerous condition called hyponatremia. Symptoms include nausea or vomiting, headache, confusion or fatigue, loss of energy, muscle weakness, or cramps.
Too much water is a bad thing. Too little water is a bad thing. So it's a very good balance of what our body needs water for on a day-to-day basis.
If you're switching up your hydration routine and have questions, Dewan says it's best to talk to your doctor or registered dietitian first.
Dewan says adding syrups to water may also help us cut down on foods that are not healthy. However, she says to enjoy all foods in moderation, and cutting out an entire food group is unsustainable. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a dry and calm start for the Wednesday morning. However, more rain is on the way. We'll talk about that and the cool temperatures when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, the city of Pittsburgh gives an update to how much longer it'll be until Quincy Street is done.
And we are dry and calm for the time being with some patchy fog out there, but more rain on the way, and we remain below average with those temperatures. We'll look at your forecast coming up.
One of the longest standing dorms in the area celebrates its 100th birthday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:29. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we've got another chilly start out there. We've even got some patchy fog and in some cases some patchy dense fog across the area. Taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we got plenty of clouds out there, but as you can see, no rain showing up. And all that rain, though, hanging off to our west across parts of Oklahoma and into the panhandle of Texas. However, this will continue to march eastward and it'll make its way here by this afternoon. So we get our day started again, cloudy, cool, maybe even a bit on the breezy side, and then by the time we hit about 1 o'clock or so, that rain knocking on our back door, couple of thunderstorms possible as well, and this will push through the area and give us some scattered showers as we go through the overnight. And then we head into the early morning hours of Thursday. More showers and thunderstorms will begin to develop, and those will hang on with us a little bit longer, and then we'll get more showers and thunderstorms possible by Friday evening. All right. From today through Friday, still looking at another quarter inch, half inch, maybe inch and a quarter of rain out there between now and Friday. And you can see where our rain chances are going to pick up as we head into the afternoon today and how those rain chances will stick with us through the majority of our day tomorrow until they start to settle down and move out of here for the evening. MoDOT camera, 20th in range line, looking good so far. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. 7th in range line, good, cloudy, cool, 45 degrees in Joplin right now, but you see that visibility is at 5 miles, and that's because we've got some fog. All right, 40 Iola, 46 Parsons, 51 Miami, 41 Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 50 Neosho, and 48 in Monette. And here's a look at that fog. So you see Pittsburgh, now 1.3 miles, only a mile visibility in Chanute. So we have some dense fog in the area, and then even in some of these rural areas, there's some patchy dense fog, so make sure you're giving yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. We got the cloudy skies to start, a little bit on the breezy side as we head into the late morning, near 60. Afternoon highs today, some of us in parts of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, upper 50s, and then we'll get into the lower 60s for the rest of us as the rain chances return. Again, rain chances holding on with us as we head through the evening hours as well, and it's another night back into the upper 40s for our overnight lows. And the good thing is as we've been mentioning, we do not have the ingredients for strong to severe thunderstorms across the area, so we're not anticipating any of that, but we could get a rumble of thunder too, and we could get some heavy rain with some thunderstorms. Well, that's a check of your forecast. We'll look at the week ahead here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. 176 working days left, according to the city of Pittsburgh. That's how long it will take crews to finish the East Quincy reconstruction project. Weather permitting, of course. Work on the project started in July of 2022. The project includes new sidewalks along both sides of the street and improvements to the intersection of South Rouse Avenue and East Quincy. Lanes will be widened, a center lane added, as well as curbs and gutters. Crews also worked on street lighting, storm sewer, and water line improvements. Reports of a train starting a grass fire in Joplin turned out to be something different. About 9:30 Tuesday night, reports came in about a train starting a grass fire near the 24th and Connecticut overpass. Well, it turned out to be what's known as a rail grinder train. Rail grinders start fires as they grind out rough edges of the tracks to make them smooth again. But at the end of the train, they put them out with a spray of water. It turns out rail grinder trains are pretty common along these tracks in Joplin. One of the longest standing dorms in the area hits a milestone. Pitt State is celebrating the 100th birthday of Willard Hall. It started as a women's dorm in the 1920s. Cost $100,000 to build. It was shut down in the 1970s. By the summer of 2000, renovation was complete. Students moved back in. It cost $4.7 million to renovate. Now it's mainly used as a residence hall for upperclassmen.
At the time, when we made the decision to renovate it, it was roughly 70 years old and really in disrepair, and we were kind of at that juncture of we either have to preserve it, restore it, or tear it down. And what a shame it would have been to lose a facility from our early years, one of the first handfuls of buildings on the campus.
Fun fact, students call Willard Hall Hogwarts. The Joplin Chamber of Commerce is giving back to the community garden at Cross Lines. The chamber hosted an event where community members could come out and help mulch the garden. Several area banks volunteered to help.
So the greatest benefit is helping, but we're also making connections with other young professionals. So we're out making a difference in our community, and we are meeting new people, and we like helping the others in our community.
Chamber provided some tools, but volunteers were encouraged to bring their own. Pittsburgh State University is giving the first look at the new nursing simulation hospital. The simulation hospital is adjacent to McPherson Hall, the original building for the School of Nursing. Nursing students now have a space to practice, study, and get hands-on learning.
Really ties in their didactic learning, which is them, reading and lecturing, to more critical thinking scenarios. And so that piece of simulation just ties those two together. They can see exactly what's happening with the pathology of disease and how they should be appropriately responding to those scenarios.
Other Pittsburgh healthcare workers, including medical residents, will also use the new facility when it opens. City of Pittsburgh wants to bring more art downtown. KOAM's Yana Tula visited some of the murals in town and talked with officials and an artist about grants the city is providing.
The City of Pittsburgh's Downtown Advisory Board wants to support local artists for painting murals such as this one here downtown.
Broadway, of course, is a really great location for murals. Just adds a little uniqueness to Pittsburgh, a little character to downtown.
Christy Yucky says last year the city only had one applicant, but this year they already had 3 projects requesting help to offset costs from the advisory board's $2,500 funding. One of them being Ian Jovan.
Because we do have deteriorating brick buildings, so being able to not only put some color on them, but help preserve the buildings because the paint does help, with weather and all that stuff. So
Jovan, who already painted 2 murals, received a grant from the city to paint 2 more. The community can expect to see the first one by North Broadway in about a month.
I like to do it really fast. I like to do it at night so nobody sees me doing it, kind of in secret. So the big one I did on the rear of the building of the lady, it took me and a friend probably about 2 nights to really make it happen. Just as bad as that one.
The artist wants to bring life to his home city.
Yeah, I've always loved Pittsburgh, but it hasn't been what I wanted, so it's getting to make Pittsburgh what I want. So, and hopefully I get to continue to do that through the rest of my life.
Downtown is thriving, it's growing every day, there's new stuff happening, it's just a fun place to be.
In Pittsburgh, Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
Yaki says anyone interested in applying for a grant should do so before the city runs out of them, and you can find a link to the grant application on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. This morning, we're discussing traveling.
Yeah, some good news for drivers worried about hitting the road. According to AAA, falling oil prices and a drop in demand may lead to lower gas prices in some parts of the nation. The price of oil fell back into the upper 70s per barrel last week.
On Monday, the national average for regular unleaded was $3.67 a gallon. While unchanged from a week ago, it is higher than a month ago when it was $3.44. However, it's still a lot lower than the $4.12 from a year ago.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Are you planning to travel this summer? So far, half of you say you are, half of you say you're not. So make sure you take time to vote on our website, in our app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. So one of the other caveats of that story is to take this information with a grain of salt, because as we get into summer and the holiday travel season, that could have an impact on gas prices as well. So they may drop for now and then start to climb again as we
Seems like right around Memorial Weekend, right around 4th of July, they just pop right back up.
Yeah, they do. Demand starts to climb. People want to get out. And I don't blame them. It's nice to get away every so often.
You can only put so much fuel in your tank.
That's true.
That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we take you to Rhode Island, where we meet a couple who is celebrating an incredible 75 years together.
Plus, the leader of ISIS, who took credit for the August 2021 suicide bombing, is now declared deceased. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. First, here's a live look from Carthage, Missouri. Topping World Watch, a Japanese company says it appears to have lost the first commercially developed spacecraft that was supposed to land on the moon. iSpace says it assumes Hakuto R failed its scheduled landing on Tuesday after a 3-month trek that started in December. The United Arab Emirates' first spacecraft, Rashid, appears to be lost as well since it was on the lander. It's the creation of Dubai's Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. Only 3 countries have the distinction of successfully landing on the moon: the U.S., the former Soviet Union, and China. Overnight, the Department of Defense confirmed that the ISIS leader behind the 2021 suicide bombing at Kabul's airport is dead. 13 U.S. service members were among the more than 100 people killed in that attack. It took place in the final days of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Jared Hill has more.
Almost 2 years since the deadly blast that killed 13 American troops at Kabul's international airport, the U.S. has confirmed that the ISIS mastermind behind the attack was killed by the Taliban. U.S. Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover was one of the 13. His father, Darren Hoover, says he was told yesterday of the ISIS leader's death.
Nothing's going to bring Taylor back, and we understand that. We get that. He set his legacy, and nothing's going to take that away.
The U.S. is not releasing the name of the mastermind, and Pentagon officials say the U.S. was not involved in the Taliban operation that took him out.
I don't care who it was that killed him. It's one less terrorist that we have to worry about.
The August 2021 suicide bombing happened near Abbey Gate during the final chaotic days of the U.S. drawdown from Afghanistan. More than 100 Afghan civilians were also killed. Marine Corps Sergeant Tyler Vargas Andrews survived.
I'm thrown 12 feet onto the ground. I open my eyes to Marines dead or unconscious lying around me.
U.S. officials learned of the ISIS leader's death weeks ago, although not from the Taliban. Instead, officials made the determination from their own intelligence gathering.
CBS News learned on Monday that Pentagon had begun contacting the families of the U.S. service members killed in the attack. The White House had asked CBS to hold its reporting until all 13 families were notified. The Biden administration released a summary report weeks ago blaming the Trump administration for the messy U.S. exit, also acknowledging that the withdrawal should have begun sooner. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 546. Time for another check of that forecast. Skywatch Storm Tracker just showing us the clouds that are across the area. No showers in our immediate area right now, and it'll remain that way through the morning. But as we head into the afternoon, shower and thunderstorm activity out to our west will eventually be making its way up here and will bring us more showers and a couple of thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon, evening, and into our Thursday. We get our morning started, again, cloudy, cool, and then by about 1 o'clock, we start to see this activity knocking on our back door. Showers and thunderstorms begin rolling into the area, and they'll go through the evening. We'll have a few scattered showers, and then we'll see additional development overnight of a few more showers and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. And that activity on Thursday will persist with us a little bit longer, and then we'll have another round of potential showers and thunderstorms Friday evening into Saturday morning. So rainfall totals from today through Friday, still looking at another ½ inch, upwards of an inch of rain for a good number of us across the area. Here's a look at when those rain chances increase this afternoon into this evening. And again, that brief pause before they redevelop overnight, and we'll have shower and thunderstorm activity through the majority of our Thursday before it begins to taper off later in the day. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking back to the south. If you look closely, there's a bit of fog in the area. KDOT camera at 69 and 400, looking good so far. And we do have a little bit of fog out there to contend with. We're at 45 in Joplin, otherwise cloudy with calm winds. As we look at temperatures across the area, boy, it is chilly, especially in parts of southeast Kansas. 39, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute, 38 in Yates Center, 51 Miami, 50 Neosho, and 44 in Carthage. And again, southeast Kansas really dealing with some of that denser fog right now, and even creeping into parts of southwest Missouri and in some of the rural areas. areas, at least on my commute here, there's some patchy areas of fairly dense fog. Cloudy to start our day, a little bit breezy by late morning, near 60 by 11, and we'll see the shower and thunderstorm chances begin to increase as we head into the evening and the afternoon and evening hours of highs upper 50s, lower 60s today. Rain again continuing with us through the evening, overnight, and into tomorrow. Overnight lows of right around 49. As we head into tomorrow, a little bit cooler, upper 50s for highs is what we're looking at. We got more showers again on Friday, but at least we're a pinch warmer, mid-60s, and those could translate into some morning showers as we head into our Saturday, but we're looking to at least try and warm up. Again, we're not near where we should be for this time of year, but we're trying to warm up just a little bit, but that still doesn't help our overnight lows at all as they stay pretty chilly. We'll get a break in the rain activity on Sunday and Monday. Still not as warm as we should be, but not bad. We're talking lower to mid-60s. And then next week, toward the end of the week, our temperatures start to rebound to where they should be for this time of year. However, as you can see, pop-up thunderstorm chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday across the area. So another round of much-needed rain in the 4 states and hopefully some warmer temperatures. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. But first, here's a live look from Central Park in Carthage.
Family and friends gather in Rhode Island to honor a couple who has spent 3/4 of a century together. As Sam Reed reports, the couple is still as in love and having just as much fun as they had at the start of their marriage.
Every morning, employees at the Cranston Diner get ready for their breakfast boom, and customers of all kinds make their way in to fill their stomachs. And like every other day, there's a lot of specials. But that word, special, would best describe this bunch in the back.
The love is just unheard of from everybody here.
About 24 people, all family and friends, have gathered here to celebrate love that was built by these two.
Family means everything to them.
98-year-old Robert Gorman and his beautiful bride, 95-year-old Anne Marie.
Why are you guys here today?
Our 75th anniversary.
What do you think about that?
I think it's wonderful she put up with me.
I'm thinking of going back and doing it over again.
After returning home from the war in the 1940s, Robert met Anne while working at a mill.
I told him to get lost.
And 2 years later, they were married at Our Lady of Mount Carmel on Federal Hill. Then came 2 biological children and an adoptive son.
To be my age and have both my parents, it's like unheard of.
Cheryl Narcessian is their daughter.
People can't believe it. It's amazing. It really is.
She says though her family didn't have a lot of money, they were rich in other ways.
They definitely lean on each other for strength.
The pair says there's really no secret to their success.
We used to argue every morning, and then we'd make up every night.
But sarcasm and laughter have helped in more ways than one.
That's it, one's enough.
During their day party, alongside dessert, the original Bible and cake topper from their 1940s wedding were on display.
I'm a very lucky guy.
I'll agree to that.
And the two also agree, amidst all the celebrations, the sweetest thing of all has been a love like this.
It was a pleasure, really.
I couldn't ask for a better partner. No way in the world will I find a better girl than her.
Oh, 75 years is a very long marriage, and we're glad they're still happy together. We'll be right back. A historic home is up for sale in Washington, D.C. The home that once housed a former First family can all be yours. Nestled in the historic Georgetown neighborhood is the mansion Jackie Kennedy moved into after leaving the White House immediately following the assassination of her husband, former President John F. Kennedy. This sprawling and iconic estate can all be yours. 15,000 square foot property features modern and luxurious accommodations like an underground garage while still maintaining its historic charm. The home is currently listed for a meager $26.5 million. The movie theater in Alaska got a surprising visitor last Wednesday, a moose. Workers at the cinema in Kenai were surprised to see the animal walk right through the door and into the lobby. Happened about 8 p.m. It happened after employees propped the door open to let some cool air in. The moose wasn't interested in seeing the show, though. Instead, it followed its nose to some popcorn left near the trash can. It spent about 5 minutes chowing down on a free meal before workers were able to coax it back outside. That's something they say they were only able to do because the moose was young and wouldn't have tried if it was an adult. Well, today marks 37 years since the Chernobyl accident that occurred on April 26, 1986 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the town of Pripyat in Ukraine, which was at this time under the jurisdiction of the Soviet Union. An explosion and fire released large quantities of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over much of the western USSR and Europe.
We've got a break in the rain for us this morning. Cloudy skies, occasional wind gusts out there, and we'll be near 60 by late morning. As we head into the afternoon, though, the showers and a couple of thunderstorms will return. Our temperature's really not that good as we make it into the upper 50s, lower 60s, so it's a chilly rain. And the rain will continue with us into the evening hours and then regenerate overnight after another brief pause. We're dropping back down to lows back into the upper 40s. The rain will be with us for the majority of our Thursday. We'll only be in the upper 50s. Maybe some evening showers on Friday, translating to some morning showers on Saturday. Excuse me. And we've got mid-60s. We'll hang on to lower to mid-60s. A break in the rain Sunday and Monday. And then thunderstorm chances return for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. And temperatures try to rebound to normal as we head toward the end of next week as well. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, the votes are in again as the city of Carterville holds a special election to determine the winner of an earlier race. We'll have the results.
And we've got a pause in that rain activity for right now. It's left us with some foggy conditions, cool conditions as well. More rain on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
And KOAM's Amber Jenkins takes us to Pittsburgh State University School of Nursing to take a look at the high-tech new tool nurses can use for their training.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So just after 6 o'clock, almost 6:01 on the Wednesday, we've made it to hump day halfway through the week. And it's been a rainy couple of days so far, and it's going to continue to be a rainy week. And unfortunately, it's going to be rainy next week as well. Let's take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Right now, no rain in our area. We've got that little bit of a pause going on, but we do have plenty of cloud cover out there. Our next batch of showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, will be rolling in from the west as we head into the afternoon hours today across the area. So let's take a look at the future track, see what we've got. We'll hang on to those mostly cloudy skies. Like yesterday, could get a few peaks of sun, and then as we head to about noon, 1 o'clock, showers, thunderstorms start rolling into the area. These will push through, and then we'll be left with a few showers late in the evening. So it's a brief pause, but as we go into the overnight, showers and thunderstorms begin to redevelop across the area, and these will stick with us for the majority of our Thursday across the region. From today through Friday, still looking to get another quarter, half, upwards of an inch of rainfall. So remember, precipitation tracker resets each day, so it's not counting the last couple of days. It's only looking at rain totals from now through Friday. Rain chances again ramp up as we head into this evening and into the overnight hours, and they'll really ramp up for us tomorrow before they eventually taper off in the evening. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. If you look, there's a little bit of a haze. We do have some fog out there. And from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, just back behind this banner, you can see some of that fog out there as well. Got mostly cloudy skies. We're at 48 in Joplin, feels like 46 now. The wind is blowing east-northeast at about 5. Cooler out in southeast Kansas, 37 Iola, 39 in Pittsburgh, 47 Chetopa, 51 Miami, 52 in Neosho. And as mentioned, we've got that fog to contend with. Some of it starting to clear up across southeast Kansas, but still some patchy, dense fog out there. So make sure you slow down, give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. We'll have another full look at your forecast and the rest of these rain chances here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. The city of Carterville announces the results of a special election. On Tuesday, voters in Carterville, Missouri were back at the polls for a special election to determine the winner of the race for Ward 2 on the city council. Judy Martin defeated Terry Arterburn by a vote of 51 to 39. The special election was called after Martin and Arterburn tied in the election earlier this month.
The main thing for me is to keep the town growing. I want to keep the town growing. I want to keep the people in the town happy. And if anyone has anything that they need from me, please feel free to let me know.
I am happy. I mean, I know I put my best effort towards it. I will do this again. This is my hometown.
Special election cost the city $1,100, but they saved more than $2,500 by counting the ballots by hand rather than machine. Missouri announces plans for the licensing of micro businesses for medical and adult use marijuana products. The application window for the first round of micro business licenses will be open from July 27th to August 10th. According to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, 48 micro business licenses will be handed out through a random lottery drawing in October. Officials say applicants cannot submit more than one application per drawing. You can learn more on the KOAM News Now app. City of Pittsburgh wants to bring more art downtown by providing grants. The City of Pittsburgh Downtown Advisory Board wants to support local artists for painting murals in town. City officials say the advisory board has a $2,500 funding that they're giving grants from. So far, the city has had 3 applicants, and they expect to get even more soon.
I think that they just add some fun to the downtown, like the interactive murals, like the one behind us. They're just kind of like fun and interactive, and they just add color to downtown.
Recommends anyone interested in applying for a grant should do so before the city runs out. You can find a link to the grant application on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. One of the longest standing dorms in the area is celebrating a huge birthday. Pitt State celebrates the 100th birthday of Willard Hall. It started as a women's dorm in the 1920s and cost $100,000 to construct. It stopped being used in the 1970s, and by the summer of 2000, renovation was complete. Students moved back in. It cost $4.7 million to renovate, and now it's mainly used as a residence hall for upperclassmen.
But it's also a thing where this building also has the most character. I mean, when you're standing outside, it kind of looks like a castle from the outside. A lot of people used to call it Hogwarts when I was a student because it just has such a different feel than all the other residence halls because it's so old. The architecture is so much different.
Fun fact, students call it Hogwarts. Pittsburgh State University is giving the first look at a new addition to the School of Nursing. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to nursing students about how the changes can help them prepare for after graduation.
After 3 years in development, the School of Nursing at Pittsburgh State is growing in size and technology.
We were able to come over last week and got a little teary-eyed because it's been almost a year, or been over a year since we've been out of our building.
The new building is home of the Simulation Hospital. The Simulation Hospital creates a hands-on learning environment without the ER stress.
They can see exactly what's happening with the pathology of disease and how they should be appropriately responding to those scenarios.
I like lecture just to learn about the nitty-gritty information beforehand, and then I like to get into simulation already knowing that information and being able to practice and fail and then be able to succeed.
Students must be mindful of the patient and interact with the mannequin. It lets the nursing students know when he's feeling uncomfortable.
Okay, I want my mom.
For example, that breathing treatment you saw, it's nice to be able to put it together, put the medication in there and give it to the mannequin as opposed to the first time I'm on the floor at the hospital and saying, I've never done this before, someone's gonna have to show me.
Since the 70s, the old school for the School of Nursing held about 90 students, but with this new addition and Simulation Hospital, they are able to impact more nurses for generations to come.
I plan to commission active duty as a second lieutenant, and then hopefully I'll just do nursing somewhere wherever they station me. So
I really want to get my feet wet in all different kinds of nursing so that when I come teach maybe here at Pittsburgh State or at another university, I'm able to say, yes, I've done that, and let me talk to you about it.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Other Pittsburgh healthcare workers, including medical residents, will also use the new facility when it opens. 176 working days left. According to the city of Pittsburgh, that's how long it will take crews to finish the East Quincy reconstruction project. Weather permitting, of course. Work on the project started in July of 2022. The project includes new sidewalks along both sides of the street And improvements to the intersection of South Rouse Avenue and East Quincy. Lanes will be widened, a center lane added, as well as curbs and gutters. Crews also worked on street lighting, storm sewer, and water line improvements. Well, reports of a train starting a grass fire in Joplin turn out to be a little different. About 9:30 Tuesday night, the reports came in about a train that had started a grass fire near the 24th and Connecticut overpass. It turned out to be what's known as a rail grinder train. Rail grinders start fires as they grind out rough edges of the tracks to make them smooth again. But at the end of the train, they put them out with a spray of water. Turns out rail grinder trains are pretty common along these tracks in Joplin. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, language, health, and emojis.
How emojis may help hide our real emotions. I'm Ian Lee with what new research reveals.
Plus, the king of Calypso, Harry Belafonte, passes away at the age of 96. We're going to take a look back at his groundbreaking life and career. And Chris returns with another look at your forecast and when the 4 states can expect some temperatures a little more spring-like around these parts. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. First, here's a live look from Carthage. Topping Nation Watch this morning, President Biden began his first television ad, Buy In Key Battleground States Tuesday. The ads are expected to run in battlegrounds including Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. The ad buy signals the Biden team's desire to begin engaging in key battleground states he carried during the 2020 presidential campaign, and that would be pivotal to his reelection in 2024. Prosecutors with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office are asking for a protective order in Donald Trump's criminal case. They're concerned that the former president might publicize information about their investigation. In a motion filed on Tuesday, they're asking the judge to order that Trump not be allowed to copy any information about the case that could be released to the public. Prosecutors also asked the judge to limit the disclosure of any members of the prosecution team until after a jury is seated in the case. Legendary entertainer and civil rights pioneer Harry Belafonte has died. Vladimir Dudier looks back at the trailblazing singer and actor who President Biden praised for using his talent to help redeem the soul of our nation.
Affectionately known as the King of Calypso, Harry Belafonte sparked a craze for Caribbean music to worldwide audiences. Daylight come and we want go home. His 1956 album, featuring hits like the Banana Boat song, became the first to sell more than 1 million copies. Born in Harlem in 1927, the son of immigrants, Belafonte dropped out of school and joined the Navy. Sad to say I'm on my way. But his passion was entertaining. His success as a singer led to roles in Hollywood. Handsome and charismatic, he soon became the first black actor to gain success as a leading man. During the civil rights movement, Belafonte used his voice, money, and celebrity for social justice. He became a confidant to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I saw the song as having something far more than just to delight audiences and people can dance and sing.
We sat down with him in 2018.
It strikes me that you were all willing to risk everything for your beliefs.
So even when the industry, the films and whatnot abandoned me because of my politics, I just had an attitude that said, I have a constituency without you. And as a matter of fact, this constituency gave me a sense of power.
Belafonte became the first African-American producer to win an Emmy Award, a recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors, and he was awarded a humanitarian Oscar. Vladimir Dutier, CBS News, New York.
Belafonte died from congestive heart failure. That's according to the singer's publicist. He is survived by his wife, 4 children, 2 stepchildren, and 8 grandchildren. Well, some of the future stars of the NFL stepped away from the gridiron to help out at a fast food restaurant in Missouri. The presumptive #1 pick for the 2023 NFL Draft, University of Alabama quarterback Bryce Young took orders at Raising Cane's in Kansas City on Tuesday night. Other NFL prospects, including University of Texas at Austin's running back Bijan Robinson and Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud, picked up shifts at the restaurant as well. The projected first-round picks worked the drive-thru and front counter while they signed autographs and talked with football fans. The night was a part of Raising Cane's promotion for its One Love craveable chicken fingers meals. Bet they got paid more than minimum wage. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
We've got ourselves some patchy fog out there, but we don't have any rain for now. However, more rain is on the way. We'll take a look at that full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:19, just about in time for some weather trivia. Sometimes cumulus clouds can form from industrial smoke, volcanic eruptions, or forest fires. What are these clouds known as? Are they volcumulus, pyrocumulus, fire clouds, or noctilucens? Well, we'll take a look at the answer here in just a moment. But first, let's look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Plenty of cloud cover across the area, but no showers in our immediate area. But that will change as this batch of showers and even a couple of thunderstorms will eventually make its way here later this afternoon. So we're talking about 1, 2 o'clock. We'll start to see showers and again a couple of thunderstorms rolling into the area. And these will hang out with us for the majority of our evening. And they'll start to break up and there will be a brief pause with a few showers before more showers and thunderstorms develop as we head into early tomorrow morning across the region. And tomorrow's showers and thunderstorms will hang with us a bit longer for us on our Thursday. All right, precipitation tracker. Again, remember, it resets each day, so it's counting from today through Friday. Still looking to pick up another 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, upwards of 1 inch of rain across the area. And in terms of our rain chances today, this is where they start to ramp up as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, and then they will really stick with us again for the majority of our Thursday until they finally start to taper off in the evening. All right, MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, looking back to the south. That fog is starting to clear up in Joplin right now, and it is also doing so in Kansas, at least at the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. Here's that cloud cover, and like yesterday, we're trying to get some peaks of sunshine in there, but they're going to be limited like yesterday as well. 48 in Joplin, feels like 46 with an east-northeast breeze at about 5. Cooler in parts of southeast Kansas. We got 38 Yates Center, 39 Iola, Chanute, Pittsburgh, 47 Parsons, 50 Miami, 51 in Neosho, and 48 in Carthage. And here's a look at that fog. Again, denser fog hanging out still around, say, the Chanute area just southeast of Yates Center, but we've got patchy dense fog across a good portion of southeast Kansas and into the far western edges of parts of southwest Missouri. So make sure you slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. Well, those mostly cloudy skies, maybe a couple of peaks of sun, some gusty winds late this morning, pushing near 60. As we go into the afternoon, we're looking at highs upper 50s, lower 60s. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms begin to build back in across the area. And as we head into this evening, showers, a couple of thunderstorms. Good news is no strong severe storms. Again, the atmosphere just isn't right for it. And upper 40s for our lows. All right, back to our question. What are these clouds that can sometimes form from industrial smoke, volcanic eruptions, and forest fires known as? Well, if you happen to pick B, pyrocumulus, you would be right. And these form much like cumulus clouds. All right, showers continue tomorrow. Friday evening, a return maybe into Saturday morning. Temperatures start to warm, except for tomorrow, upper 50s. Lower to mid 60s, a break in the rain Sunday and Monday, and then additional shower and thunderstorm chances by next Tuesday. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a 10-year review of U.S. hospital records shows mothers with the autoimmune disorder known as SLE have twice the risk of giving birth to a premature or growth-restricted baby. Same mothers are more likely to need a blood transfusion or develop kidney failure during delivery. Doctors say the findings can help counsel and inform patients with SLE planning and during pregnancy. Even a mild concussion can cause long-lasting effects to the brain. That's according to researchers at the University of Cambridge, who found almost half the people who suffer a hit to the head experience changes in how regions of their brain communicate with each other. Researchers say those changes can potentially cause fatigue and cognitive impairment 6 months after the trauma. And a new study finds HIV is 2.5 times more frequent in South London among people who use mental health services than the general population. Researchers say in addition to taking a closer look at risk factors for people with mental health issues, they may be getting a lower standard of HIV care, further highlighting the need to focus on HIV prevention. Well, there's a good chance you've already sent or received one today. We're talking about emojis. The interactive icons are designed to help us express our feelings, but a new study suggests they're doing just the opposite. Ian Lee reports.
The small and sometimes silly symbols convey our emotions when words won't do. What's your favorite emoji?
You know, you're laughing and you're crying at the same time.
Probably either the cry laughy face or the girl that's going like this.
What is your favorite emoji?
This, you had your face.
Moyu Liu led a study out of Japan analyzing whether the emojis people send show how they really feel.
We need those yellow faces to help us to express.
Researchers studied the emoji interactions of more than 1,200 people and found happy emojis were often used to mask negative emotions, to make a message seem more positive.
Personally, I have done this before, and maybe I think people are doing the same things with me.
I do that to my aunties on WhatsApp when they send these videos that are just not funny.
The study found people were most likely to fake their feelings when talking to people of a higher social status or in a group chat versus one-on-one. Researchers also found a possible link between those who hid their feelings and mental health.
Managing emotions using those emojis can be weakly associated with depressive symptoms.
So the next time you're faced with a screen full of emojis, experts suggest choosing one that truly matches your mood. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Trend report from Adobe last year revealed the top favorite emojis for Americans. The crying while laughing emoji topped the list, followed by thumbs up, heart rolling on the floor, laughing, and the sad emoji with a teardrop. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Our forecast, no emojis in it, but believe it or not, our weather computer actually has emoji graphics in it. I do not know why, but it has them. Maybe we should try them sometime. We'll have the cloudy skies through the morning, maybe a few peaks of sun, some gusty winds late this morning near 60. Highs today, some of us upper 50s, rest of us lower 60s, and showers and thunderstorms will build back in as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. They'll pause briefly and then begin to redevelop as we head into the overnight. We drop back down once again into the upper 40s. We'll have showers and a couple of thunderstorms through the day on Thursday, upper 50s, mid-60s Friday, maybe some evening showers translating into some morning showers on Saturday. We hang on to the low to mid-60s and actually even get a break from the rain Sunday and Monday. And then as we head into Tuesday, even though we're still in the mid-60s, additional thunderstorm chances in our forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6:30, a two-car crash on US 69 southwest of Miami, Oklahoma takes the life of a commerce woman.
We've had some patchy fog out there this morning, but we're otherwise dry for the time being. But we got more showers on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.
And the Joplin Chamber of Commerce uses its green thumbs with cross lines to dig into some garden work to benefit the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So another chilly start for us across the area, and we've got dry conditions for the time being. We've had some patchy dense fog, especially around the Chanute area, so do keep that in mind if you're traveling this morning. Outside of that, no rain is falling, but as you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, plenty of cloud cover. Our next batch of rain right there out in western Oklahoma. These showers and even a couple of thunderstorms will continue to make their way to the east and eventually get here by this afternoon. So the future track shows it coming in here right around, say, 1 o'clock or so. I think it's going to be a little further east than this by 1 o'clock, but we'll still see showers, a couple of thunderstorms. These will roll through the evening hours. There'll be a pause for some of us with just a few scattered showers, but as we head into the overnight, more showers and thunderstorms develop just right on top of us, and these will persist with us through the majority of our Thursday. Again, precipitation tracker counting from today through Friday, still looking to pick up another half inch of rain, maybe an inch in some areas of much needed rainfall. And as we've mentioned, the good news is it's falling over the course of several days, not all at once. Rain chances ramp up as we head into the evening and overnight hours, and again, they'll stay high as we go through the majority of our Thursday before they eventually begin to taper off by the evening. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking good. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. There's the sun trying to peek out. We'll get a few peaks of sun for some of us. Otherwise cloudy. We're at 48 in Joplin, feels like 46. And a little cooler in southeast Kansas, 39 Pittsburgh, Chanute, Iola, 38 Yates Center, 46 Chitopa, 50 Miami, and 51 in Neosho. We get our morning started, cloudy, few peaks of sun, maybe some gusty winds late morning, pushing near 60. We'll talk more about those rain chances and what next week holds here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. A jury was selected on Tuesday to hear the civil lawsuit against former President Donald Trump. Former columnist Jean Carroll claims Trump raped her in the mid-90s and then defamed her when she went public many years later. Trump has denied the allegations. Michael George has the report.
Jean Carroll arrived at a Manhattan courthouse Tuesday, where she's suing former President Trump, as anti-Trump protesters voiced their support for the magazine writer.
We believe Jean Carroll. We believe Jean Carroll.
Carroll claims Trump raped her in the mid-90s in a New York City department store dressing room. She never reported the alleged assault to police, but she wrote about it in her 2019 autobiography. Trump has repeatedly denied the allegations. He called Carroll's claims a hoax and a lie used to promote her book.
It's a civil case, so it's not a criminal proceeding, so he doesn't have to worry about jail time or anything like that. But it can be serious civil ramifications. We're talking about money here, and it could be a significant amount of money.
Carroll is one of more than a dozen women who have accused Trump of sexual assault or harassment. He denies all the allegations.
None of these cases have ever been able to really find him liable, let alone guilty.
Trump's lawyers have indicated that he most likely won't testify. The lawsuit comes as the former president runs again for the Republican nomination. It also comes weeks after he pleaded not guilty in an unrelated case to falsifying business records related to hush money payments. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Carroll came forward with her accusations long after the original statute of limitations had run out, but New York State has since passed laws allowing people who claim they were victims of sexual violence a new window of time to file lawsuits against their alleged attackers. One person is dead following a two-car crash on US 69 southwest of Miami, Oklahoma Monday night. The driver of one car, 64-year-old Erlene Ingram of Commerce, Oklahoma, died at the scene. The other driver, 27-year-old Michael Shepard, was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. A pickup hits two children in a driveway, killing one and injuring the other in Delaware County, Oklahoma. It happened just south of Cleora. The children were playing in the driveway when the pickup pulled in. A 1-year-old girl was killed, and at last report, a 2-year-old girl was hospitalized in critical condition. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash. A Bramer, Missouri man already in prison for killing two Wisconsin brothers over a cattle contract is sentenced for a federal crime. A judge sentenced 28-year-old Garland Nelson to 32 additional years in prison for defrauding DeMille's Livestock of Wisconsin. Nelson pleaded guilty in September to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the 2019 deaths of 24-year-old Justin DeMille and 35-year-old Nicholas DeMille. A judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. 3 of 6 suspects in a Newton County kidnapping and murder case have pleaded guilty. The crime happened in July of 2020. Authorities say 6 people took part in the kidnapping and murder of Michael Hall of Carthage. And they say Hall was bound, beaten, stabbed, and then shot to death. 3 suspects, Carla Ward, Russell Hurt, and James Gibson agreed to plea deals this month. The other three, Amy Thomas, Freddie Tilton, and Lawrence Vaughn, have plea hearings set within the next week. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Joplin Chamber of Commerce is giving back to the community garden at Cross Lines. The chamber hosted an event where community members could come out and help mulch the garden. Several area banks volunteered to help.
We're using rakes and we're evening out some dirt, just making it look nice. They've added some new security poles here recently, so they're just kind of leveling it all out, making it look great, having the dirt piles in the back leveled out, and adding the mulch to the dirt boxes because there's going to be flowers and stuff in the community garden as well.
Chamber provided some tools, but volunteers were encouraged to bring their own. Special Olympics Kansas hosts several upcoming events for adults and youth in the Southeast region. On Tuesday, athletes gathered at Pitt State to compete in the Southeast Regional Track and Field event. Aaron Fletcher organized the event. To show appreciation for Aaron, athletes wore the name Fletcher on their shirts, honoring her late son, Josiah Lee Fletcher, who was killed in a car crash last month. And these events mean a lot to the athletes.
The awards is probably my favorite part. We do the events for the athletes, and that's what we're here for, and they absolutely love when they get a medal, and today they get 2 to 3 medals depending on how many events they're in, and so they are just covered in gold and medal and just absolutely love it.
2 other events will take place soon. The Adult Southeast Regional Track and Field event is this Thursday at Pitt State. Another Southeast Track and Field event will be at Erie High School next Wednesday. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. The fight over the debt limit continues as House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he has the votes to push a plan that would raise the debt limit by $1.5 trillion.
And while we're dry for the time being, we'll have more rain showers on the way as we head into the afternoon. We'll take a look at that. You're watching the KOAM Morning News, more real news in the morning. We'll be right back, but first, here's another live look from Carthage, Missouri.
In Consumer Watch this morning, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told reporters he believes the Republican-controlled House will pass a bill to raise the nation's debt limit by $1.5 trillion for 1 year by the end of the week. McCarthy's legislation also calls for $4.5 trillion in federal spending cuts. White House has threatened a veto should the bill reach President Biden's desk. Those looking to buy an electric vehicle are about to lose a popular option. General Motors says it's ending its production of best-selling EV, the Chevrolet Bolt, by the end of this year. Instead, the U.S.-based plant that makes the models will shift to produce electric pickup trucks. And Mattel has released its first-ever Barbie doll with Down syndrome. The company worked closely with the National Down Syndrome Society to ensure accuracy with the doll. Barbie comes with ankle-foot orthotics, which many children with Down syndrome use for support. The price tag for the doll on Mattel's website is $10.99. One new survey finds managers think Gen Z is the most difficult generation to work with. CJ Papa has the details.
Well, frankly, they come to us with a very different perspective.
A new survey shows 79% of managers think Gen Z is the most difficult generation to work with. 20% of those managers say they've had to fire a Gen Z worker within a week of their start date. They say Gen Z lacks technological skills, motivation, is entitled, and easily distracted. Gen Z workers are currently aged 26 and under, meaning much of their work life occurred during the pandemic. Tim Elmore wrote the book on bridging the generation gap in the workforce.
A student can go through 16 years of education, including college, and maybe never have had a full-time job. I had 3 jobs in college. So it's a different animal. And I think it's going to feel a little bit to a manager like a cross-cultural relationship that we're going to have to really work hard to meet in the middle.
Elmore says the generation gap got bigger as the screens in our lives went from public to private.
So when I was growing up, we had one screen in our house. It was a television. Fast forward to today, we've all got our own screen. And we can be in echo chambers where a 16-year-old girl can have an Instagram account and 5 Finsta accounts, fake Instagram. Bridging the gap is going to take work for managers and employees.
Elmore surveyed 5 generations that might be in the workplace today. When asked what they wanted from other generations as they interact, 3 answers came up in every single generation. One was humility.
I want you to approach me with humility, which I think communicates I probably don't know it all. I have something to learn. I think that's true on both sides. Number 2 is respect. I think we need to begin with respect and belief rather than make them earn it. And then number 3, curiosity. What if every generation, young and old, were curious about what the other had to offer? But I think that's going to be our answer.
CJ Papa, Fox News.
And while the survey suggests Generation Z is the least popular in the workforce, a recent Pew survey says it's millennials that make up the largest generation in the labor force. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are dry across the 4 states right now. Cloud cover, sun trying to peek out for some of us. And we've got more rain and even a couple of thunderstorms out to our west. And this will continue to build and move into our area this afternoon. And let's take a look at this. Now, I mentioned earlier, I think the future track is just a wee bit behind. I do believe that this batch of showers and thunderstorms will be a little further east by 1 o'clock. And it will last with us as we go through the evening hours. And then it'll start to break up a bit, at least briefly, before more showers and thunderstorms begin to develop across the area. And as we've mentioned, the good news is our environment this week just not primed for strong or severe storms. So we could get some thunder and some heavy rain, but nothing too crazy. Precipitation tracker, again, counting just from today through Friday, still looking to pick up another quarter, half inch, even upwards of an additional inch of rain over the next couple of days. Rain chances, again, will pick up as we head into the afternoon hours, and then we will really have some good rain chances as we go through the majority of our Thursday, and they'll finally start to taper off as we head into the evening. Taking a quick look around the area, 20th and range line, MoDOT camera looking to the south. We are good so far, and we're also good from the camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, again, as the sun tries to peek out this morning. We'll have another complete look at your forecast here in just a few minutes, and as we mentioned, we're now on the downhill run to Friday. And what better way to celebrate the middle of the week than with some birthdays and anniversaries? You know that we love doing that. They're up after the break, but first, look what's coming up on CBS. The fanciest restaurants in New York. That's coming up on CBS Mornings. Time for those Wednesday birthdays, and we're going to begin in Baxter Springs with Chesney Billings, who's celebrating birthday number 16. Happy birthday, Chesney.
Kaylin Charles celebrating birthday number 18, also in Baxter Springs.
And we've got Manson Winter celebrating birthday number 19 in St. Paul. Happy birthday, Manson.
And the party's in the bus with Ron Reynolds. Happy birthday.
And also celebrating in the bus, David Martin celebrating number 97. David's a World War II veteran, worked on Big Brutus, and now resides at medical lodges in Columbus. A very, very happy birthday to you, David.
All right, and it's a 22nd wedding anniversary to my friends in Arma, Kansas, Larry and Natalie Douglas. Happy 22nd anniversary.
Our list goes on with Betty Evans celebrating birthday number 80 in Carthage. Happy birthday, Betty.
Wyatt Kepley turning 14 years old.
And Neely Baker celebrating number 16 in Parsons, attending LCHS. And this comes with love from Grandma and Grandpa. Happy birthday, Neely. And a happy birthday and anniversary to all of you. And we know you want to celebrate with us, and there's a really easy way to do it. Tanya, what is that easy way?
All you have to do is send us an email with your picture and name and all the birthday details to birthdayswithanus at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, you can be a part of the KOAM Birthday Club. You want to know how to do that? Well, that's also pretty simple too. Just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com and you sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. And the great thing is you get great deals from local businesses, and additionally, you get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So head over to KOAMnewsnow.com, sign up for that birthday club today. All right, quick recap on what we're looking at. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking to the south. On occasion, you'll see some sunshine out there. We're not getting much sunshine, though, from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, though it is trying. See the little shadow on that car? Here's what it looks like. We've got those clouds trying to block that rising sun, but it is trying to bring us a little sunlight like it did yesterday. It's 48 in Joplin, feeling like 46 with that east-northeast breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Across the area, we've got 42 Pittsburgh, Chanute, 39 Yates Center, 46 Chetopa, 50 Miami, 51 Neosho, 45 Lamar, and 41 in Nevada. We get our morning started. We'll be mostly cloudy, a few peaks of sun. We may have some gusty winds late this morning. They'll be brief, but they could be a bit gusty. Highs today, upper 50s, lower 60s. Showers, thunderstorms start building in, say about 1 o'clock across the area, and those will continue through the evening and into the overnight hours and through most of our Thursday. And we'll drop back down eventually to lows back once again into the upper 40s. We look ahead. Cooler tomorrow, upper 50s, those showers, maybe a couple of storms. Evening showers Friday, translating to some morning showers on Saturday, mid-60s, lower to mid-60s, and a break from the rain Sunday and Monday. But even though we start to try and warm up to normal next week, we also are keeping an eye on pop-up thunderstorm chances Tuesday through Friday of next week. So we're not quite done with the rain just yet. Well, coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches over to Fox 14, we're headed to Gorilla Country, where the city of Pittsburgh is getting a facelift. More and more murals are popping up in and around, and KOAM's Yana Haudula takes us for a closer look and sits down with officials to talk about funding these park projects. Got that story and a whole lot more when the KOAM Morning News makes the switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. One person is dead following a two-car crash on US 69 southwest of Miami, Oklahoma Monday night. The driver of one car, 64-year-old Erlene Ingram of Commerce, Oklahoma, died at the scene. The other driver, 27-year-old Michael Shepard, was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. Pickup hits two children in a driveway, killing one and injuring the other in Delaware County, Oklahoma. It happened just south of Cleora. Children were playing in the driveway when the pickup pulled in. A 1-year-old girl was killed, and at last report, a 2-year-old girl was hospitalized in critical condition. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash. Voters in Carterville, Missouri were back at the polls Tuesday for a special election to determine the winner of the race for Ward 2 on the city council. Judy Martin defeated Terry Arterburn by a vote of 51 to 39. Special election was called after Martin and Arterburn tied in the election earlier this month. And Pittsburgh State University is giving the first look at the new nursing simulation hospital. The simulation hospital is adjacent to McPherson Hall, the original building for the School of Nursing. Nursing students now have a space to practice, study, and get hands-on learning. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, we are dry and cool this morning. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms building in this afternoon, say around noon, 1 o'clock. We're looking at highs, upper 50s, lower 60s. We head into the evening. Another night in the upper 40s. Showers, thunderstorms continue, and we'll spend the majority of our Thursday with showers and a couple of thunderstorms, upper 50s. A little warmer Friday, evening showers translating to morning showers Saturday, a break in the rain Sunday and Monday, and more rain chances as we head into Tuesday.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making pineapple pretzel squares in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Carter Evans joins scientists off the coast of North Carolina as they learn more about the mating habits of great white sharks. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we've got Francis Graves from the K-State Extension Service stopping by to tell us all about an online certification program for people who work remotely.
Plus, grab a jacket and come with us as we celebrate not just National Parks Week, but Earth Month by taking you on a trip into the great outdoors. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.